I think the bond market is the best reflection of what's going on in the world. It is the barometer for every politician, for every central bank. It really informs us every day where the mood of the global economy. And that I believe the bond market is indicating that inflation may be higher than we think. The genie may be coming out of the bottle. And I look at this in so many different ways that if you just think about AI for a minute, in the United States right now, data centers represent about 50 gigawatts of power. And in the United States, we're estimating alone, data centers will represent and need 300 gigawatts of power in the next 5 years to meet the needs. And we're talking about, if you expand that throughout the world, this is my optimism about growth, but at the same time, we actually are going to have labor shortages, which is going to be driving up wages. I think we're going to see more persistent wages, and that may be a good outcome, but it's going to be an inflationary outcome. We're going to have material shortages with all this building out. And so I think we are somewhat complacent that inflation can hit us again. But I would also say, if you look at where the bond market was even a year and a half ago, when we were experiencing very elevated inflation, we had a very inverted yield curve. The short rates were higher than the long rates. What we are seeing now is the normalizing of the yield curve, but I also believe we're going to have a much more steeper yield curve. And that's a function of forward inflation expectations. And so one of my fears is, because of this complacency, and I have not even said the most ugly word that's facing economies, that's called the deficits and the debt of so many countries. When you think about the amount of capital that we're going to need to be financing all these amazing transformations, we have growing deficits worldwide. The cost of financing those deficits are going to go up. I think the yield curve is showing you that.
Yep. Yeah.
And so, I've said repeatedly here in Davos,